Hi guys, welcome. This is Pinnacle Healthcare Staffing. My name is Anaya. I'm part of the social media marketing team here, and we're doing another Get to Know a Nurse Monday with Ronnie, and she's a special guest, so she'll tell us a little bit more about herself. So you can introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrona Brown, but I prefer Ronnie, as Anaya said, and I have been a nurse for going on 24 years now.
Oh, okay.
And I've done just about everything in nursing and life as
Yeah.
well. I'm a mom, a wife, a grandmom of 15 grandchildren. Yeah, I have three children I gave birth to, but I have a lot of bonus children. I don't like to say stepchildren, so I call them bonus children. And yeah, they're not step. Because once they come into my life, they are my children.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No, that's wonderful. And then, why did you become a nurse?
um, I initially became a nurse when I decided that being a physician at that time for me was not going to be attainable because of what it required for me. And I hated calculus.
Yeah.
And calculus, you have to take several years of calculus to get into med school. And so that was the litmus test for me to say, okay, I want to still go into the medical field, but what can I do? And then I saw how hands on registered nurses were. And my main goal was to be a maternity nurse. So I changed my major actually from psychology and decided to go into nursing field. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like the maternity field. Yeah. So for me, that was something I would wanted to do. I know I'm like far off into marketing, but I'm still interested in the nursing industry myself.
It's very rewarding. It's
Yeah.
hard work though, but
Yeah.
it's very rewarding. I call labor and delivery baby Beirut. It's like a war zone in there.
So you're a clinical nurse manager now,
I am, yes.
but you've been in the nursing industry for over like you said like around 24 years.
Yes. Hmm.
Why did you choose your current role as a clinical nurse?
I chose my current role as a nurse manager because I wanted to be involved in changing policies, procedures, in the
Yes.
way that things were done in the corporate level that were not beneficial to the clinical staff and did not take an account for certain clinical issues.
Yeah.
When I came into the practice that I'm in now, they had not had a nurse manager ever. So I was the first. And so they were used to clerical and business people running the practice, and the nurses and medical assistants felt like they weren't being heard. Their concerns and the needs that they had for their patients were not being heard. So when I came, it was not a very good morale that everyone had. But in almost 2 years, things have really turned around. There has been 100% retention of staff, and the two staff members who left were retiring. And the one who left was just because of personal family issues, but not because she was fired or she didn't like it. She actually wants to come back after those family issues are resolved. But yeah, and I pat myself on the back for doing that
Yeah.
because my staff, I think, can trust me. I have an open door policy. If there's anything going on, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I want to know about it and try to hash it out and figure out how we can resolve the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm very proud of you. Like that's a big role, and
It very much
yeah, I
so.
feel like you're handling it well.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm
Yeah.
trying. There's a lot of pushback from upper administration,
Mhm.
but yeah, if you stick to it, you can
Right.
really make some changes, which I feel like I have. Mhm.
And this is something you want to stay in for.
Eventually,
Yeah.
I want to go in back to my first love, which was psychology,
Mhm.
and knowing people's behaviors and go and get my doctorate nurse practitioner in psychiatric and behavioral health nursing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm actually in school for that now.
Okay, yeah. Because I know you got like your master's and everything. So
I do in
yeah.
nursing education, and so I am about to enter into my residency or clinical field area in like another, like in the wintertime to start seeing patients and do my residency for my MP. So yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I know like schooling is it like a lot? Is it?
It is a lot, but I'm a nerd at heart. So
Yeah,
I
that's
love
good.
learning. Like I get excited about cracking open a new book and just the smell of it and just the new things. I'm sure you probably know what I mean. Just like,
Yeah.
ooh, there's new things you want to know. And I
Yeah.
just like reading books, period. But especially learning new things, I especially love. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice. So we're just gonna move into the next set of questions.
Okay, sure.
So you're also an ordained minister and a spiritual counselor. Like,
I am.
yeah.
I am. Yes, I've been an ordained and licensed minister for about 11 years now. So
Okay.
I actually was ordained and licensed when I was in school for my master's. No, when I was in school for my bachelor's.
Okay.
So that was almost 15, 16 years ago. And so at the same time, which was very difficult, I was doing it, but I felt led that that's where God was leading me to. So I did both. So, yeah.
So what inspired you to go down that path?
I come from a family of ministers and those involved in church and even just those who are educators and helping people. So I think it's like in my blood, to just be there for others. And plus, I was always the one that people would come to consult
Right. Yeah.
about issues. Even those who were older than me were asking me what I thought about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, there might be something to this. Let me, see which ways in which I can personally grow myself spiritually, but also be a help to the body of Christ as well as other people. Yeah.
It's the good aura. So yeah,
Thank
because
you.
people do the same thing to me, and I'm like, why are you telling me all this information? Are you sure you want to talk to
Right.
me?
Just tell me all your personal business.
Right.
And I just said hello to you in the market, right?
So, describe some of the work you've done as a spiritual counselor.
I would say the work I've done is just encouraging people for the most part. I really haven't been able to delve into it like I want to. I am one of the chair members of a health center in the New Jersey area, and it's Life Cycles Health Center, which was started by Dr. Tanya Winter Bronzel, and she is a DNP as well with Temple University Hospital.
Okay.
But she also is family medicine, and she started that health center in New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, I love spiritual work. Like I generally like to talk to people and listen to their stories and do what I can to try to
It's good work.
be there for them.
It's good work when you see that you've even helped somebody by just listening, letting them get some stuff off their chest. Sometimes you don't have the answer, but at least if you just allow them to vent, sometimes it makes them feel better. Yeah.
Ooh. So, how has your spiritual side impacted your work in nursing?
I think it has impacted greatly, but as you said, that aura. Um, when I come into a place, it's like the atmosphere changes, and I know it's because I bring God with me. And people notice that I try to have an upbeat demeanor, even if I'm having a bad day, even if I don't feel well. Because I do suffer from chronic health issues. So sometimes I'm not feeling well, but others wouldn't know it by looking at me because I'm always smiling or whatever. So I try to bring that type of atmosphere because I want everyone to feel at peace. We all come to work with our own issues, but we're there to do a job. And although we may have our own issues, we have patients that we need to take care of. And although they might be concerned, it's really not their problem. it's really not their problem. They're there for their issues. So they
Yeah.
don't care if someone broke into our car, or, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we have to focus on them. And so I want to, lighten up the atmosphere. Everyone feel happy when they're there and feel at peace about being at work, because it's a horrible
Yeah.
thing if you're miserable when you're coming to work.
Yeah. Actually, you made a good point. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
So let's talk about some of your accomplishments. Tell me about being like a published author and poet.
So my book is called A Spirit Train, Journey to Peace, and it is my first book. My second book I've been sitting on for the past 2-3 years, and I just need to get it published. But basically, it was a compilation of things I had gone through over a 10-year period. And at the time that I published it, I was just coming on the back end of losing my oldest son's father. My oldest son was 9 years old at the time, and he died from a house fire. And then maybe 4 or 5 months after that or so, I no, not 4 or 5 months after that. Let's go 2 years after that, I lost both my father and my stepfather and my biological father a month apart. And so it was really difficult. And but God was telling me, you need to publish this, you need to publish this. And so I published it. And it was always something that I would write poetry even when I was in nursing school. And if I had a class member who was like going through a difficult time, I might write them a poem and put it in the card. And they used to be like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that from? And I'd be like, I wrote it. They'd be like, oh my gosh, you need to write a book. That was really good. Like, that really helped me or whatever. And so that's what it was based on. And it's different things that it focuses on. It focuses on forgiveness, molestation, self-esteem, depression, all of those things. But it's poems that I felt like were God given to me, to help others to get through those areas of their life. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go into that.
Most definitely.
I love that, um, especially because even though you've had your own experiences as well, a lot of people have their own stories and they want someone or something that they can benefit from that. Like, they can grow and be like, you know what, this has helped me. This has gotten me into a better place.
Exactly.
And to have people like look up to you. So that's amazing.
And although it feels hard, it's just, if it might feel horrible now, but it will pass, and sometimes people need to know I'm not the only one that's going through this, even though this seems like this is the end of the world for me. And see, oh, okay, somebody else went through this and they got over it, even though it hurts really bad to lose someone, or hurts really bad to get a divorce, or even to be a victim of any type of abuse.
I love that. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're
That's
welcome.
amazing. We'll definitely put like your book and stuff in our information
Awesome.
so people can check it out. But I
Okay.
would definitely look at it myself.
Okay.
So tell us more about like your business, the SpiritTrain Ministries.
So SpiritTrain Ministries it's hard work. It's helping work, and what I noticed is that God had been giving me, like, I've always had, young boys, or, young men always had an affinity to me, would attach themselves to me like a mother or auntie or whatever. I would come into church, and just the little boys in the church would run up to me and grab my legs, and, I guess it's that maternal type vibe that I give. And so some of those young men who were looking to me as an auntie or a mother figure were having a lot of psychosocial issues, were unhoused, had education issues, substance abuse issues, mental health issues. And I was like helping them navigate that, helping them get patched in with mental health providers, helping them to find housing, helping them to find educational resources and stuff. And what God gave to me is like, okay, well, this is something that you do because you love to do it and help these young men this is something that you actually really need to be doing permanently for a lifetime. And so that's how SpiritTrain Ministries LLC got spearheaded and started over 2 years ago. I'm still in the process of looking for a residential facility, because I want to have a place where they can call home. Because, like I said, a lot of them experience being unhoused, either because they have a lot of family dynamics and it's not good, or they're just getting out of prison and they don't have permanent housing. And so it's like temporary, like a year or so housing until they're up on their feet, get the education or training resources that will help them to be able to move out and take care of themselves, and even those who have children, to take care of their families, and also get the tools that they need from different mentors coming in and talking to them about, fathering classes, or how to be a man of integrity or things like that. Because as a woman, I can't teach them how to be a man, but I do have a lot of friends and ministers who are willing to come in and talk to these young men. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Oh my God. No, I love to listen. Like, I love knowing that people have their own business and they're like giving back to the community, which is amazing. So we're gonna go more into a deep dive. This is like our company's questions.
Okay.
So as a nurse, you give lots of love and care and attention to your patients.
Correct.
Who is the person or people in your life that gives you a lot of love?
I would say my family, definitely. My daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, Rain, who sometimes I just have to tell her get off. Because prior to Rain, it was two boys. And so boys, after a while, they won't be bothered with you, especially if they get a certain age. But Rain is just determined to say that she's going to live with me for the rest of her life. And it's so great, to be open. Like, I love her love because she is just so open and friendly, and she just like, she needs someone. This is my best friend. What's her name? I don't know. Well, how's that your best friend? That's just how she is. And so it's my family, my husband, my children, especially during this difficult time that I'm in right now, with my health not being too great. They have really been there for me. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Oh. So what's working really well in your life right now?
What's working really well is me finding things that give me joy and give me peace, and letting that be my priority. So in July, I turned 50, and
Happy belated.
thank
Yeah.
you. And it's just my goal to, not be disrespectful to anybody, but not really try to appease what other people want if it's not something that's going to be good for me, makes me not feel good about myself. It's about peace. It's about yoga. It's about meditation. It's about, just trying to center myself, go for walks with my dogs, and just, sometimes just listening to some music and just going out for a walk early in the morning. That's actually, we missed our walk this morning and they were looking at me a little upset. So that's definitely what I have to do when I go back in the house, is walk them, because that's our moment together, and that's my moment to just think and be with God and just be at peace for a little walk. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meditating for like a while now, like started this year. Have not been doing it going into the summer, which is because I've been very stressed out with like school and like working and
Oh, that's why.
yeah. So,
get back to it.
So I'm like, I need to like start meditating again because it's actually really nice.
Yeah, and I notice when I don't do it or I haven't been doing it, it's like, you feel that tension, and it's like, you know what, I really need to do some. And I don't do the traditional yoga. I do Christian yoga, just because with Christian yoga, I like the fact that they implement Bible verses and scripture while you're stretching and everything. So I enjoy to do that, and there's tons of videos on YouTube with Christian yoga
for free.
As well, for free. Yeah, you don't have to pay anyone.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. So the next question is, what are you most self-confident about?
I am most self-confident about, um, I would say I'm most self-confident about who I am as a person. And it was not always that way, because
Yeah.
like I said, when you're younger, you sort of try to please other people,
Exactly.
even when it doesn't like make you feel the best because you think that's what's required.
Mhm.
But no, it's not required, especially if it doesn't make you feel good. You
Mhm.
have to be an advocate for yourself. So now I advocate for myself all the time, and others don't have a problem with that. And those who do have a problem with it,
Yeah.
that's okay. But I'm still not going to do what they want.
Yeah. Listen, I've that's how I am. I was a people pleaser myself.
Uh-huh.
So even though I'm still young and I'm still trying to figure it out, it's like it's amazing to know like, hey, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna do this. I'm not listen, I'm still a caring person, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's nice to be selfish and just put yourself first and your feelings.
Very much so,
So
because
yeah.
if you think about it this way, and this is what something the Holy Spirit told me. It said, "You're so worried about how someone else is feeling. Are they that worried about how you're feeling?
Nope.
No."
Nope. Like I had to learn that in high school. So it's honestly people who are still learning it now, like it's
Mhm.
by the time you start to understand it, it's gonna be amazing. Like you're gonna be a whole different person. So
Exactly.
you're gonna be more in your power. So
Yep, this is
um
true.
what has become clear to you as you've gotten older?
What's become clear to me as have gotten older is that I was a people pleaser. Um, but also what's become clear to me is that I'm just a nurturer. Like I will try to nurture strangers, And I've even been told by one of my staff members, "You're just such a mama," you know. Even when I'm interviewing someone for a job, if like they say something that like and then I have to give them something. She said, "You're just such a mama. We're supposed to be interviewing this person." So yeah, I just am a nurturer. That's just who I am. And
That's an amazing quality. Like I think a lot of people need more nurturers. So
Mhm.
I love that. So what is something you wish people understood about you?
um, that I'm just a genuine person. Some people take my confidence or me knowing who I am as a slight sometimes, like I'm trying to be a know-it-all. And it's not that at all. I'm just trying to tell you what I know. And some people get taken aback by that because they may not know it. And so then they think I'm kind of overstepping and making them look bad. But I'm just putting my best foot forward. And I'm sorry if that makes you look bad. Then maybe it's some areas that you might need to work on for yourself. But again, as I said, at this right 50, it's
Yeah.
just I can't keep trying to make others feel good
Right.
about not feeling good about being around me. Yeah.
I understood that already. um, personally, what is the most important value that you live by?
I would say the most important thing for me is my relationship with God and having integrity. If someone comes to me, they know that if it's something that we're sharing, I'm not going to share it with someone else. Not unless they tell me it's okay to tell someone
Mm-hmm.
else, but I'm not going to be like, such and such told me,
Yeah.
not that. And so that's why people share things with me because they know that I'm a person who has integrity. I'm not a gossiper and things
Right.
like that. In that I can be trusted not only with their own personal stuff, but with patient stuff, with physicians, information, that type of stuff. So they know that I'm reliable. I'm someone who has integrity, has a strong faith, but I do not impose my belief on other people,
Yeah.
because I realize that there are people who believe other things. It's just we all respect each other. Mhm.
Respect. I love that. Um, if you could talk to all the employers in the nursing industry, what would you advise them to do better to support their nurses?
Have a heart, basically. I think right now with especially employers, um, they are focused on the monetary aspect of
Yeah.
it, and times are getting hard right now financially for everyone. But there are a lot of nurses who are leaving bedside nursing and leaving in person nursing and going to home based nursing jobs and work from home because that home work dynamic is not working for them anymore. Like their children are not being cared for at home while they're at work working for a hospital or a office or somewhere that is not respecting all the work that they bring in and making it easy for them to be able to take off for their child's doctor's appointment or for their own personal appointments. And so the mental health aspect of it is really stressful for a lot of nurses at bedside and in the face-to-face nursing. And so they're opting to just be at home with their family and work from home because it gives them more flexibility. So I would just urge them to make it a little bit more flexible for nurses to, if you want to just implement maybe 12-hour shifts. And so they are like 3 days on, 4 days off, or um, not mandate that you work every weekend, that it's like every other weekend or every third weekend, just to give people more flexibility to be able to take care of their home environment and not feel like that this is not something they can do and also be able to make sure their home is okay.
Yeah, I know recently we did a podcast with a ER nurse.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a recent grad.
Mm-hmm.
She's been doing like night shifts. She's like, it's a lot, and I don't have time to be with like my husband, and it's a
Exactly.
lot. Yeah,
It is.
so
It's very stressful.
she's like, I just want them to change the schedules. Like, I wish we can start as like a day shift instead of like nights. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Just be more flexible with people. It's just like, no, we can't do this. You want to take off? No, we don't have the time available. It's just like you can't keep telling people no because there are too many opportunities out here for nurses. And if you want to retain staff, you're going to have to be a little bit more flexible and not so stringent and have the dollar be your deciding factor on what you can do to be supportive of your nursing.
Yeah. So the last question is, what makes a great life?
um, as I was saying, that work life balance, that makes for a great life where you can be able to go to work and do something you love, but also be able to do the things with your family that you want to do. Go on vacation, be able to go see your child's play, or things like that, so that there is a balance between the two things. And you're not working, and your family never sees you. Like the fact that I've been home now, my dogs love it. It's like, oh my gosh, they follow me around the house everywhere. They're like the kids now, like my daughter. I'm like, give me a break, don't come in my room. Yeah, so
Okay, that's amazing. I love
yeah.
that response. So that's the last bit of the questions.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to add on, like any advice to growing nurses?
My advice to growing nurses is sort of map out a 5-year plan for yourself, because that's what's given me the nursing trajectory that I've had, is that I've always set a 5-year plan for myself. It's good to make a vision board. So in 5 years, if you just graduated, as you were saying, that nurse, and you want to go back to school and get your master's, put that on your vision board so that you can always remind yourself, okay, these are the steps that I need to take. It prevents you from feeling like you're in a position where there is no room for growth or change, because you've already set those guidelines for yourself that in 5 years, this is what I want to do. Whether this job is going to give me growth or not, I'm going to grow within myself with my own goals. Yeah.
I need to do a 5-year plan.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for coming in today. Like,
you're welcome.
I love this talk. Like, it was actually really nice, especially because for me, I feel very spiritual myself. I don't really talk about it or show it, but it's nice to be able to talk to
And
someone.
as you can say, people can see that you're a very sweet person, that there's something about you that's different. So definitely.
So I'm just like, ooh.
So can continue to be you.
Thank you. So anyways, that's the end of the podcast, but thank you for tuning in, and yeah, bye.
Bye everyone.